Hello YouTube, my name is Travis and this is Bacon and Backpacking. Welcome back to the channel. Last week we had an episode where I gave you 5 different ways you could lighten your backpack for less than $5. As it turns out, apparently people want more of that. That was my most popular video, so we're coming back today for an encore. This is part 2 of 5 different ways that you can lighten your load for less than $5. Alright guys, so one thing everybody's going to need on trail is you're going to need water. And in order to carry that water, you're going to need a receptacle to put it in. This is like a very obvious one, but it'll actually save you a ton of weight. So, you know, some people may take something like this, like a blender bottle. This blender bottle, I just weighed it. It weighs 5 ounces. A 1 liter Nalgene bottle weighs 6.5 ounces. A Life Water or Smart Water 1 liter, this weighs 1.5 ounces. So where this really comes into play is if you're, you know, carrying like 2 water bottles, which most people are, okay? 2 of these empty is only going to weigh 3 ounces, okay? 2 of these is going to weigh 10 ounces, and 2 Nalgenes is going to weigh 13 ounces. That's empty, right? So you start getting into this, you know, this thing where if you're taking something like this, you're going to be looking at a 1/2 pound to 3/4 pound just in your containers. So go ahead and do yourself a favor, guys. Go ahead and rock the Smart Water bottles or the Life Water bottles. It's going to save you some weight. All right, our next tip here. So Sarah and I both rock these long-handled titanium sporks. You know, you see everybody always has like all the titanium cookware and everything like that. And I do like these things. They're cool. But this thing's like probably like $18, $20, right? And even though it is titanium, and even though it is really light, there's a very simple solution here that can save you 20 bucks. I'm sure everybody has some sort of, you know, plastic silverware at their home already, or if you get something from a fast food place or you've got it in your break room at work or something like that. These literally cost like 5 cents. They're even lighter than the titanium. The only downside is you're going to get some sauce on your knuckles if you use the freeze-dried meals. But all that aside, you know, hey, if you're, you know, kind of budgeting and you're new to backpacking and you're trying to save up for some good quality items like your tent or your quilt or your pack or something like that, you know, saving these $5, $10, $15, $20 here and there, you know, can make a big difference. All right, next up, this is a really fun one. So this actually came to be from one of my viewers. Commented last week on the previous video. I was going over like some different, you know, homemade like DIY fire starters, right? I reviewed like the cotton ball and Vaseline trick. We kind of tested some of them out, stuff like that. And one of my viewers was saying you could actually use Fritos to go ahead and start a fire. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to go ahead and test out that theory. One really good way to lighten your pack is to have a multi-use item, you know, have gear that serves multiple purposes. So I can't think of anything better than, you know, having some Fritos to munch on. We'll see if we can start a fire with them. All right, I've literally never tried this before, so let's see if it works. So it definitely takes a little while to get it going. So if it was a little bit windy, it might have some issues, but we'll see what sort of a flame this puts off. It's got an interesting smell to it. Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like that's enough of a flame and that it lasts long enough that, hey, I learned something today with you guys. I'd say it's a safe bet to say that you could definitely go ahead and start a fire with some Fritos. All right, so this one's going to be a little bit controversial. Some of you guys may know what these are. These are like the Walmart, you know, cheap rain gear that you can get. This item is not $5, but I'm going to go ahead and explain that here in a second. You get a rain jacket and rain pants for $20, okay? So one could say, hey, the jacket's 10 bucks, right? So we're going to go ahead and go over a $10 item right here. And that's really the only part we're going to care about, because I'll tell you one thing, these pants are garbage. The first time I ever went to put on these pants, I literally just ripped a hole in them trying to put them on. So the pants are pretty worthless. They're not very flattering. That's what they look like. very, very flattering pair of rain pants. But what I will say, these things are dirt cheap. They're like the lightest rain gear on the market, and I will say the jacket does actually work, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and come on in here and look at this impeccable construction. So, as you guys can see, this is a very high quality piece of gear. Disclaimer, I would not trust like my life to these. You know, here in Ohio it can get pretty cold. If it's raining in the upper 30s or lower 40s, I'm keeping my Gore-Tex with me. In the summer though, where getting a little bit damp, you know, if this thing fails isn't that big of a deal, then fine. Like I'm taking these things in the summer, I'm trying them out and seeing how they go. But I can definitively say they will keep the water off of you and they will break the wind. I can also definitively say if you accidentally brush up against anything with this, it's going to rip a hole in it and then you're going to throw it away. But being that it's, you know, a $10 piece of gear, go to Walmart and buy another one. All right, and then points to Sarah for being my my model for the Frogtags. They're horrible horrible design as far as you know, how they look. They do come in some different colors, but yeah, I mean the jacket itself's honestly not horrible. You know, the zipper is actually somewhat decent. You know, there's no pockets in or anything, which kind of sucks. That's like my biggest complaint with it. Go ahead and put the hood up real quick. There we go. Very fashionable. All right, for the revealing. You do not look thrilled at all. The Frogtags are, like I said, they are not flattering. They kind of look like a trash bag, and I don't want to spend too much time here because poor Sarah, it's about 90 degrees outside with about 85% humidity, and these things are not breathable whatsoever. Like, she's going to be having a heat stroke here in a minute. But you know what, guys? Like I said, though, the cool thing about them is you know, they cost 20 bucks. They do work. They will keep the water off of you. They're just, the durability and the workmanship is horrible. But like I said, if it's warmer months, hey, put them in your pack if you want them. All right, guys, and then this one's a little bit corny, but since I went $5 over budget on the Frogtags, I want to go ahead and make up for that and even it out by giving you something that's 100% free. So sometimes it's not about the things that you do have or that you do buy. Sometimes it's about the things that you don't have. So what I want to talk about real quick is things that you shouldn't bring. Now, this is an opinion. I do not bring an extra shirt. I do not bring an extra pair of pants or an extra pair of shorts. I typically don't even bring an extra pair of underwear, okay? I do not take deodorant. I do not take soap. I do not take any of that stuff, and I'll tell you guys why. When you're out on trail and you're out there for 2, 3, 10, 20 days, right? You are not going to be clean. You are not going to smell good. And no matter what you do, you know, you're changing out of a dirty shirt and you know, putting on a clean one, but you're still dirty. It's just one of those things where you feel like you need it, but it doesn't actually make a difference. So I would say make sure you just save yourself the weight by not carrying stuff like that, okay? Now, if you're on, you know, a week-long trip or something like that, and I would say take some extra socks because you need dry feet. We don't want blisters and have your feet all chewed up and stuff like that. And maybe based on personal preference, maybe take an extra pair of underwear or two. But for me personally, I'm just rocking the same ones, and you know, I can come to terms with that. So that's a free thing that you can do. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything. You just don't put it in the pack. All right, so I want to wrap up with this, guys. You know, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. The last video that I did, this tips, tricks, hacks, was my most popular video so far. You know, I got 100 new subs off of it, a whole bunch of views and everything like that. So now I know what sort of content you guys are looking for. But go ahead and put some stuff down in the comments below. You know, if there's certain things that you guys want to see, you want gear reviewed, you want tips, tricks, you know, go ahead and put that stuff in the comments, and you know, I'll do a review on it in the future, or we'll have some discussions about it in the future. This channel is meant to help, you know, kind of like the beginner backpacker get started, because it can be definitely an overwhelming thing, but it's also for some of the more seasoned people. Maybe I do something that's a little bit different than you do, and maybe you'll pick up some new things along the way, right? But again, guys, for everybody who came back, tuned back in, appreciate your views. I appreciate the likes, the comments, the subs, and all the support you guys are giving me. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys in the next one.